The arena was heavy with anticipation. Lights dimmed, cameras focused, and fans from across the world leaned forward in their seats. This wasn't just another night of boxing. This was the night Gennady Golovkin stepped in to defend his reputation as the most feared man in the middleweight division. From Kazakhstan to the United States, the hype was electric. Golovkin, already carrying a terrifying streak of knockouts, had become the fighter no one wanted to face. He didn't just beat opponents, he broke them. His power was legendary, his pressure suffocating, his smile chilling. Every time he walked into the ring, you could almost feel the weight of inevitability pressing down. But across the ring stood Willie Monroe Jr. The American southpaw, slick and confident, was determined not to be another name on Golovkin's knockout list. He had the movement, the jab, the heart. Where others feared Gazakh's power, Monroe promised to embrace the challenge, to box smart, to frustrate the Kazakh monster. He wasn't stepping in just to survive. He was stepping in to shock the world. As the fighters made their entrances, the contrast was striking. Golovkin's calm, almost eerie composure against Monroe's determined energy. One man fighting to continue his reign of destruction, the other fighting for respect and the biggest win of his life. The referee called them in, eyes locked, gloves touched, and as the first bell rang, the silence before the storm shattered into roars. Monroe circled immediately, bouncing on his feet, jabbing. Golovkin advanced, step by step, cutting the ring with surgical precision. Already, you could feel it. Pressure was building. Danger was coming. This wasn't going to be a dance. This was going to be a hunt. The opening rounds set the tone. Golovkin stalking forward, Monroe circling, flicking out quick southpaw jabs, trying to find rhythm. The American's plan was clear. Use his legs, use his speed, and don't let the Kazakh wrecking ball set his feet. But Golovkin had seen it all before. He wasn't rushing, wasn't chasing. Each step was calculated, cutting off the ring with predator-like patience. Every time Monroe tried to move left, Golovkin was already there. Every time he circled right, the exit was closed. Then midway through the first, landed. A stiff jab, more like a sledgehammer, cracked through Monroe's guard. It wasn't just a punch, it was a warning. Monroe's head snapped back, and the crowd gasped. Golovkin smiled, as if to say, "Welcome to my world." Monroe fired back with a quick 1-2, snapping punches that landed flush. The crowd cheered. The underdog had bite, but Golovkin didn't blink. He absorbed the shots, kept marching forward, and dug a heavy left hook into the body. The thud echoed, and Monroe's expression shifted. He felt the difference. Everyone did. Round 2 began with urgency. Monroe's jab came faster, his movement sharper, as if he knew danger was closing in. He darted in with a short flurry, but Golovkin's response was cold and calculated. A short right hand landed clean, followed by another crushing jab. Monroe stumbled, then reset. By the end of the second, the American's footwork was slowing, the energy draining under relentless pressure. Golovkin wasn't chasing a knockout. He was breaking Monroe down piece by piece, and the crowd knew it. The question wasn't if Monroe could survive. It was how long he could endure. The hunt was just beginning. Round 3 began with the same story. Golovkin pressing, Monroe retreating, but the difference was in the force behind the punches. Golovkin's pressure was suffocating, his punches thudding with every connection. Then came the moment. Midway through the round, Golovkin unleashed a right hand over the top that crashed against Monroe's jaw. The American's legs buckled. Followed instantly. A left hook to the body, then another right upstairs. Monroe hit the canvas. The crowd exploded. The referee's count echoed through the arena. Monroe got up, defiant, shaking his head as if to say, "I'm still here." But Golovkin wasn't finished. He marched forward with that chilling calm, smiling as if he was enjoying the hunt. Another heavy combination landed, and once again Monroe fell. 2 knockdowns in the third. The fight was slipping away. Still, Monroe showed heart. He rose again, surprising everyone by firing back in round 4. Quick combinations landed clean on Golovkin's face. For a moment, the underdog found hope. The crowd roared at his courage. Monroe was not afraid to fight. But Golovkin's response? A grin. The Kazakh took the shots, nodded, and walked forward even harder. Every punch Monroe landed only seemed to fuel him. And when Golovkin answered, it wasn't with volume, it was with precision. A brutal uppercut staggered Monroe, followed by a crushing left hook to the ribs. By the end of the 4th, Monroe's face showed the damage, sweat and pain written all over him. He had heart, but heart alone wasn't enough to stop a machine like GGG. Everyone in the arena knew it. The end was coming. Round 5 was survival mode. Monroe tried to keep his distance, bouncing on his toes, flicking jabs. But Golovkin had already solved the puzzle. Step by step, he closed the gap, cutting the ring in half. Then came the final storm. Golovkin cornered Monroe against the ropes and unleashed a ruthless barrage. Hooks to the body, uppercuts to the chin, right hands crashing through the guard. Monroe tried to slip, tried to fire back, but every second was punishment. Another huge right hand landed. Monroe sagged against the ropes, absorbing shot after shot. The referee hovered, watching closely. Golovkin didn't slow down. His punches were relentless, precise, each one designed to end it. Monroe staggered forward, trying to clinch, but Golovkin shoved him back and let loose another crushing hook. The American's knees wobbled. The ref had seen enough. He stepped in, waved it off. The arena erupted in a thunderous roar as Golovkin raised his gloves. Calm, almost casual, as if another knockout was just another day at the office. His streak continued. His legend grew. Willie Monroe Jr. slumped to his corner, exhausted, battered, but unbroken in spirit. He had faced the most feared man in boxing and fought with courage, but courage alone couldn't stop the inevitable. Gennady GGG. Golovkin once again proved why he was the nightmare of the middleweight division. A fighter who didn't just win, but demolished everything in his path. Another name added to his list. Another victim of the Kazakh thunder. The message was clear. Golovkin wasn't just a champion, he was a destroyer. And in his world, nobody survived for long.